How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. Okay, so today's game was published by Acclaim and developed by Square. Matter of fact, it's the very first title developed by Square that was published in the US, which means it's not Rad Racer, it's not Final Fantasy, it's not any of Square's other titles that weren't developed by, or weren't published by Acclaim. Today's game is also notable because it was the very first title published by Square, or developed by Square, I should say, that used their 3D technology, which means this was the first game released on the NES that had a 3D mode. Still kind of trying to figure it out. Today's game is the 3D Battles of WorldRunner. Okay, so 3D WorldRunner, or the 3D Battles of WorldRunner, as it became known, or as it's originally known, is a rail shooter, kind of along the lines of Space Harrier. Although you don't really shoot anything in this game until you get to the boss fights. This one is primarily a platformer. It's the first platformer using that behind the player view that was published on the NES. Again, it's the first 3D game released on the NES. And because of that, and the fact that it was bundled with some little cheap 3D glasses, it's actually not common to find a copy that has the 3D glasses with it. WorldRunner, it covers 8 worlds, and your player is your character is charged with repelling an alien invasion, and that invasion was led by someone called Grax, an alien called Grax. Don't ask me, it's real stereotypical. Sounds like something from Buzz Lightyear or something. But WorldRunner was a really, really good game, actually. Especially to say it was so early in the NES life cycle as far as third parties are concerned. This was probably one of the more advanced titles released on the NES at this time. It didn't have a lot of slowdown, it didn't have a lot of breakup, and a lot of graphical breakup. It moved pretty fast, you could control the speed of your character, and the platforming was solid. All of the chasm jumping and things like that, they were all really solid. The soundtrack was pretty sparse, and there are points where you get tired of hearing the same music over and over. But overall, 3D WorldRunner is really a blast to play. It's a fun title. It's proof that, along with the Midway stuff that Acclaim published, everything that they did wasn't bad. Finding a copy of this isn't very hard. 3D WorldRunner, you can get a copy pretty easily. It's just a matter of finding a copy with everything in it, including those 3D glasses. Yeah, you're going to pay a pretty penny for those, because those copies are very, very few and far between. You could always just get a pair of 3D glasses from one of those Hannah Montana 3D movies or something like that. One of those little Disney 3D movies that were on DVD a few years ago that are still sitting in Walmarts. But I didn't tell you to do that. So, also, you won't be able to play in 3D mode using the glasses on flat screen television. You'll need an old school CRT in order to do that. Thankfully, I have one. I know that sounded really douchey, but eh. This has been the 8-Bit Animal. I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow.